Yes, we are live. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all the mothers. Good afternoon to all our friends in here in the UK. And good morning in our friends in the US and in Canada. And good evening to all our friends in Southeast Asia. And I think we have the same time in Africa. Good afternoon to all of you, to all the mothers out there. Today is Wednesday, and we have a special topic to talk about today, which is about us that will impact our kids also. If you do not know me yet, my name is Jade Locke. I am a mother of only one, only one, and I am also a digital entrepreneur. I help people start their own online business from scratch. So if you are a mother that wants to earn a living or side hustle, even just at home, then ping me a message and I will help you and walk through with our business. If you are watching us right now, please leave a comment and where you're from, send message, send love. Okay, without much further ado, let's welcome our guest today. She's all the way from Canada.
Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm doing well. This morning is quite sunny here in England, but the weather just changed suddenly, and so it's cool here. It's cold, and yeah, I'm doing well. Putting AJ to sleep, so that's motherhood. How are you doing?
I'm doing so well. Like you were saying, I come from Canada, and I am way up north in northern Quebec, and I live in a remote Inuit community. Have been for the past almost 3 years with my two boys who I homeschool. So it is cold up here, but we're used to it. We decided to embark on a Nordic lifestyle experience. We've been doing it for, like I said, almost 3 years. We sold everything in Ottawa, Ontario, and we decided to just jump in and experience what it is that this community has to offer to us. So it is cold up here, but it's okay. It's okay. We're getting used to it.
Are you enjoying it there rather than in Ottawa?
Pardon?
Are you enjoying it there rather than in Ottawa? You enjoy it
Well,
more?
I know. I mean, of course, I miss my hometown and I miss, seeing my family and my friends. But I have to say that we were very well welcomed when we arrived here almost 3 years ago. And we've created some really great friendships. The boys have created some really incredible friendships, and they've experienced things here that we would have never been able to offer them back home, back in Ottawa. So we don't regret, a single thing about this experience, but we are now slowly but surely looking to go back closer to our friends and our families. So yeah.
It's just different when you're close to your family and to your friends, right? It's just different. It's just really different. You will miss a lot. So our topic today is it's really, I believe that this is important. It is important to a mother, uh, especially when you have more kids, right? One or two kids is okay, but it's important to know our talent because so many people they don't know their talents, they don't know their gifts, and they just accepted of what they are, their situation and everything. They're just contented without knowing what's their hidden talent that could help them grow themselves as a person and also impact their kids. but,
Yeah.
but before that, tell us about your career. Tell us what you do.
Okay, so I am a coach and mentor for women who are ready to discover what their purpose is, what their talents are, what their unique brilliance is. And not only do I help them discover it, I help them live it out. I help them embody it, and so that they can live on purpose with purpose. And I've been coaching and mentoring women for the past 10 years. And I use different modalities. So I use numerology, which is a very incredible ancient teaching, and it has changed my life completely. And that's what I wanted to share with all of you, a little bit of numerology wisdom. I wanted to pull back the curtain from the world of numbers, and to help you discover your hidden talents, your gifts, right? Your unique brilliance. There are so many ways to discover yourself through numerology. I also use mindset. I am a very big nerd. My kids call me a nerd when it comes to neuroscience. I love it. I love everything about it. And I also use quantum healing because I'm also an energy healer. So I've been doing this for a little more than a decade. And so I have my one-on-one coaching that I do. I have a 12-week program that I offer for women. And I also do readings. And yeah, so this is what I love to do. And I haven't always been as an entrepreneur. Before diving into entrepreneurship, I was in the childhood education field for over 15 years. Yes. And so I started as a preschool teacher, and I worked my way up, right? I climbed the corporate ladder. And at the very end of that career path, I was in a high management position. And slowly but surely, I was starting to feel unfulfilled, overworked, undervalued, and overwhelmed. And so after a few conversations with my husband, I knew that I wanted to let go of the corporate world. I wanted to spend more time at home because my youngest one was not even 2 years old at that point, and my oldest one was around 6 or 7. So there was that mom guilt where I was gone. I was working over 40 hours a week, and I was missing out on my children. And so I wanted to find a way to be with them and to also, feel fulfilled. And so, with a lot of soul searching, with a lot of inner work, with a lot of taking the time to really understand what it is that I want to do in this lifetime, I was able to encounter some incredible mentors who helped me just discover my unique brilliance. And through that, I discovered numerology. And then that's where everything changed for me. That's where I had concrete evidence that I had a lot of really great talents. I had a lot of good things to bring into this lifetime. And there was a time where I didn't know, like you were saying, Jade, like there was a time where I didn't even know, who I was really or what it was. It's almost like I forgot. I forgot my spark. I forgot, my gifts. I forgot all of that. And as women, that happens, right? We tend to we're such nurturing creatures that we tend to forget about ourselves. We put everybody else's wants and needs ahead of ours. And, and even society will applaud that. And I'm all about nurturing. I'm all about loving, but we need to show up for ourselves first. And that's what I came to understand over time, is that I wasn't showing up as my best self for my family. And the guilt behind that was palpable, and I even had my oldest one say, "Mom, why do you wake up every morning so angry?" And that hit me like a ton of bricks, because for a 6 or 7-year-old to say that means that there's something extremely wrong. And so I make it my dharma, my mission, to help women discover just how incredibly unique they are, and to discover their talents, right? Their gifts, so that they don't lose themselves, so that they feel fulfilled, so that they feel like they're creating an impact, whether it's within their family, whether it's within the community, whether it's nationally or globally. It doesn't matter to me. All I want is for every woman to just understand how incredibly unique they are and how important they are in this lifetime to so many people.
Wow, that's real. I'm happy for you that you were able to do that, and it changed your life really. Well, we have lots of teachers here in the house. I'm so glad that you're one of us too. I've been teaching for 20 years in my life. I'm an educator by profession, and our kids really changed us. And this is one of the changes in my life. So no, not teaching anymore. Wants to focus on him. But of course, you know, we really have to, like what you said, that we really have to discover our talents. But first of all, what is talent, by the way? Because you
Mm.
cannot discover if you do not know.
Right. So to me, when I talk about talents, it's, the synonym would be like your gifts, your unique brilliance. What is it that you bring to the table? What is your secret sauce, right? What is that spark that you have that when you discover it and you use it, you feel like, yes, I am showing up as my entire self. I am sharing my gifts. I'm really because at the end of the day, we are all living on this beautiful planet simultaneously for a reason, right? And it's not only to understand and to learn life lessons and to expand and to grow, but it's to share. And if we don't know what our hidden talents are, like how we can create that difference in this lifetime, how we can help others, how we can serve others, then what's the use of us all living together on this planet? Right. So
I agree with you.
it's all about connection. It's like, so to me, talent is like, what do you bring to the table? What is it that you can do, or how can you make people feel, right? Or how can you create change? Whether it's within, like I said, your family, or it could be like globally, it doesn't matter. But what is it? What is your secret sauce? What is that true essence that you have that nobody else has? Because at the end of the day, we're all unique, and we need to tap into that. We need to tap into that, right?
Yeah, you are right. I agree with you. I agree with you. Because there's nobody that has no talent. And we could have two or three talents. Everybody has potentials. But if we do
Yes.
not tap on that, if we do not know, then it would be really, really a waste that we could use that to impact other people. And how to discover our talent? That's the second question. How to discover our talent?
There's so many ways. There's so many ways, right? I mean, and if it was somebody else that you were asking, maybe they would have a different answer. But for me, what has worked for me and what has worked for so many of my past clients and the women who I'm working with right now is numerology, because it has everything to do with you. It has everything to do with your birth date and your birth name. And it's also unique to you. And it's scientific. And this is an ancient teaching. Didn't just pop up last week, right? This has been in the works for thousands of years. And Pythagoras, which was like who is a great mathematician, he's the one that really brought numerology into this world. And he truly believed that, everything in this world vibrates, has an energy, and that includes the numbers. And we just so happen to be born by numbers, right? We all have our birth date. And so to me, when I discovered numerology, I was able to find out my hidden talents, my gifts, my unique brilliance. And that's what I wanted to share with all of you. Just one way. There's so many ways. If I were to do a complete reading, we would be here for 3 hours. But just to give you a little taste, I want to give you a little taste, and I want to prove to all of you that you do have these incredible hidden talents. And so what I would love to do is just to do a little 5-10 minutes of numerology, where I ask you to just do a little quick calculation, and then I will go through what every number means. So would that be okay?
Okay.
Pardon?
Okay. What are you gonna do?
So what we're going to do, all you need to do is just take the year that you were born. So the year that you were born. So I was born in 1972. And all you need to do is just add every number of your year. So for me, it would be 1 + 9 + 7 + 2.
Okay. So add the
calculate.
number of your years.
Yeah, you just need to calculate like the last year, the year that you were born. So mine is 1972. So if I were to add all of the numbers, it would come to a certain digit, right? So once you have that digit, which will most likely be a double digit, you need to reduce it to one number. So let's say you finish with 23, then you would just say 2 plus 3 equals 5. So your number would be 5, and you hold on to that number because I'm going to explain to you what that number means. Okay, so it's going to be, and what happens is that there is not going to be a 1, because you can, when you add up a year of birth, you're going to automatically finish with a 10. So we're going to go from 2 to 10. Okay. And I'm going to explain to you, and it is through that, believe it or not, it is through that, just the year you were born, where you're going to tap into one of your hidden talents, one of your gifts. So if you're ready, I can start explaining what they all mean. I can start with 2 and go all the way to 10. Okay. And I'm just giving you the tip of the iceberg. I'm just giving you the tip of the iceberg. So because there's a lot of deciphering when it comes to numerology, but I still love to give a little taste of what your birth date has and the power behind your numbers. So if you ended up with a 2, your unique brilliance, your hidden talent is that you are able to see both sides of the coin. You can be a great mediator because you're able to use your creativity and your intuition to understand what is happening. Oh, are you there? It's just saying that I'm not, that I lost the screen for a second.
Yeah.
So if you have the 2, that is your super, really 2 sides of the coin, where you are able to really sit down and use intuition in order to help with a certain situation. So that's the number 2.
Okay. Number 3.
Talent is that you can bring joy and inspiration into any kind of situation. You're like a little ray of sunshine, right? So you can lift spirits up, like you can lift everybody up. If there's somebody who's feeling down, you're able to bring in that joy and that happiness and that inspiration. And you do that through communication, through self-expression. You can do it through the written word, through verbal, like just speaking verbally, through music, through art. But that is like your unique brilliance. That is your hidden talent. You really bring joy and inspiration and happiness into this world just by being you, just by being you. If you have the number 4, the number 4 brings structure. It brings so much structure and into the chaos. So if we're looking at what's happening right now in this world, right? Everything is a little, flipped on its head right now. So if you have 4, you're able to really ground people. You're able to make them feel safe, to make them feel like it's okay. Everything's going to be fine. That is your gift. If you're a number 5, you light up the room just by being you, because you are so passionate. You're so passionate and filled with love. And it's like you just radiate this love, and you make people feel okay to be themselves. You give them permission to be authentic because you're authentic. And that, I find, is an incredible gift, because so many of us try to hide behind a social mask, or we try to fit in. But if you have the 5, that is like your hidden talent. You make people feel good to just be them, and they can put their guards down and just be who they want to be, right? If you're a number 6 loves to connect the dots. You're so good at connecting the dots for people and helping them see how beautiful they are, the beauty within them. You're really good at having them see the bigger picture. That is your talent. If you're a 7, the 7, if you have that, means that you have this beautiful analytical mind. I always call it the Sherlock Holmes. So you're able to really peel back the layers and to lift up the rocks and to really get to the core of things and understand the deeper meaning behind everything. Right? You're like the Sherlock Holmes. You're really good at dissecting something and helping people understand the life lessons behind what they're going through. That's a really great one. They are all great. They're all great. Number eight. It's you have this wisdom within you, this deep, ancient wisdom where you are able, and without even understanding or knowing why, you know what to say, when to say it. And when people ask you, how did you know that that's exactly what I needed to hear? You will most likely say, I don't. I don't. You're like, you just have this well of knowledge and this wisdom that just comes through. And you just guide people that way. You just know what to say, when to say it, or the opposite, you know when not to say a word. And that is a true talent right there. If you're number nine, your hidden talent has everything to do with leading with integrity. So whatever it is that you do in this lifetime, and it could be minute, it doesn't have to be marginal. It can be minute. Whatever it is that you do, you are leading the pack. People are always watching you. You lead by example. And that is huge. And as a mother, that is huge if you have that number, because your little ones are always watching you. They're always watching you. So if you have that number, that's an incredible talent to have. Because, when you know that you're leading with integrity, then your children will do the same. Okay. And the last one is 10, which is the trailblazer. So if you've got the 10, your hidden talent is to do things outside the box, right? It's like you're thinking outside the box. There's nothing traditional about the way you do things, but that's an incredible talent. That's an incredible talent because you really bring these fresh new ideas. You're like the pioneer energy, and you're able to lead the pack, but in a very non-traditional way. So this is just a glimpse. This was just a little glimpse of how numerology can open up, a whole new door for you and say, oh my, yeah, I heard this and I can see that can be my hidden talent. And I have other women who were completely, surprised. They couldn't believe it. And they got excited because they said, they were in that space where they were feeling unfulfilled, or they were feeling confused, or they were feeling blah, with what it is that they were doing. And to understand and to discover that, wow, I have that within me, that can like spark everything up for you. And then you start showing up differently, right? And that impacts your family, like it or not. When we start showing up better for ourselves and we start showing up with a different type of energy, our children, especially our children, they feel it. And then something shifts, something changes. Because I don't know about you all, but if I wake up in a bad mood, I set the tone for the rest of the day.
Exactly. It's really interesting. Well, I've never, because I'm Christian, right? So I've never had any interest about this, and I never listened about this. But it's really interesting, this numerology, because why is interesting for me personally? I don't know to other mothers, because it's really if you remember the 9 intelligences, because it's kind of relate to the 9 intelligences, that if you really look deeper into it also describes the personality of the person, and it also describes the intelligence that we have. It's really interesting. And also in Japanese and Korean culture, they have this. You will know the person, the characteristics of the person with their blood type.
Yes.
Yeah, only. And also in the Bible also you can discover your talents, you can discover your gifts,
Yeah.
and there are characteristics also of the person. So we really have to, all the mothers, we really have in us, in every, whatever your religion is, whatever your culture is, there's
Mhm.
always a source to know you within you of what you have, right?
Mhm.
So it's real, and
Absolutely.
there are so many things all around you that you can use to discover your talents and your unique brilliance. I like that word, unique brilliance. Thank you for that. So it's really like I like that word really, really. So how to impart the talent to your child and make an impact? How to impart your talent, your gift, and make an
Yeah.
impact. Because we know
So,
that as a
yeah.
mother, yeah.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Right. And we were talking about this before we went live, and how, we are with them 24/7, or we are, even if they go to school, I mean, you are their role model,
Yes.
right? And you have this we have this incredible role as mothers to guide them and support them and love them and nurture them and nourish them. But how better a way to do it when you know yourself, and when you feel good about yourself, and when you know what it is that you are meant to bring to the table, right? When you feel that, yes, I am showing up as my best self. And we can do that so easily once we discover our unique brilliance, our hidden talents, what our purpose. Why am I here? What can I do? How can I help? How can I serve? How can I be a better mother, partner, daughter, etc., XYZ. And so, when you figured out your hidden talents, it's almost like an automatic thing, because then you're feeling good about yourself, you're standing tall, you're feeling great about how you're showing up, and that will impact your children indirectly or directly. I mean, there's nothing else really, because you're just being you, and you're feeling good about it, and our children know that, and they see that, and they feel that. And so, like I was saying, it was such a shift between the mornings where I was waking up miserable and tired and unfulfilled, and then now that I wake up and I'm excited and I'm happy and I feel aligned, I feel fulfilled. My kids know, my
Mm.
children know. And so I influence them just by being the best version of me, just by discovering my hidden talents, just by using them every day, and implementing them, whether it's through homeschooling or through my business, or just through the way that we have conversations, especially with my 14-year-old. We're always talking about stuff. So, you know, and that's the best way. We don't need to actually actively do anything. We just, to them or for them, it's just, we need to show up as our best selves, and then the rest is like a domino effect.
Wow. That's really, I agree with that, and I like what you said, that it's just being you. It sounds so good that we don't need to do anything. It sounds so easy. It sounds easy and so good that we do not need to do anything, but it's just us. But it's big impact to them. And in I think in non-Christian it would say that vibe. If you give the atmosphere, the vibe, the good energy vibe, I don't know how you call that. Yeah, and it will affect to other. So good vibes, give a good vibes like that.
Yeah.
It will manifest to our kids of what even we feel, of what we have inside, of what we act, it manifests to our kids. We don't need to say to them, but in Christian side, in spiritual side, it's like what spirit you have, they will get that spirit as well. So it's like the same feather flock together. And if you are with angry people, you will it will be contaminated. You will be contaminated as well, right? So
Yes. Yes.
especially
Yes.
mothers, I noticed that, I experiment that with EJ, that when I get like angry, he would really get angry as well. And when I am trying to really just love him, even though I'm a little bit pissed off, and just love him and take him on fun, then he would be also be happy. So it is
Yeah.
really, really important. You are really, really right there. But the thing is that us to be aware, right? To be aware
Yeah.
of what is inside of us, our talents and unique brilliance. How about to those mothers that, do not really think about themselves, think about them as them? So what's your final message to our mothers? What could you advise to them?
Well, and I was in that situation, right? I was in that situation where I ended up being burnt out just before leaving the corporate world, and that's a sure sign that you've spread yourself out way too thin. You've forgotten about yourself. You've forgotten about your talents, your purpose, your reason. You're just all over the place. And so my advice to all of the incredible mothers in this community is to remember that if you don't take care of yourself first, you are not going to be able to take care of your children as much or as well as you wish to. Because if you're living with your an empty, if you're pouring from an empty cup, right, you're always scraping at the bottom, right, for energy. But if you fill up your cup and whatever overflows, well, whatever's overflowing is for your children, it is for your loved ones, it is for your colleagues, etc., etc. So we need to make sure that we fill our cup up. And it's not, sometimes there were a time where I heard people say, well, fill your cup up and then you're going to be able to share, to share more. But I say go even further, make sure it overflows, because whatever's in that cup is for you. It's for you.
True.
It's time to understand and to let go of that old paradigm where, as women or as mothers, we need to put our kids first. It's the same analogy as when we are in an airplane, where they say at the beginning, the air stewardess will say, oh, if something happens, take the oxygen mask, put it on you first, then your child. There's a reason for that, is because if you don't give yourself, the nurturing, the oxygen, then you're not going to be able to save your child. You're not going to be able to help your child. And I adopted that same thinking now, where I really put myself first. And it's not a selfish thing. It's a self-love thing. It's about me loving me so much that I feel like I am like the best mother that I can be. Do I have my off days? Yeah, we're human. I mean, of course we have our off days, but I know that I make sure to put myself first. And for a long time, I felt guilty about that. I felt like it was wrong. But it didn't work for me, because that I lived according to that, and I ended up burnt out. And I was definitely not there for my kids when I was burnt out. And so I said, okay, I need to change something now. Like, right, something needs to change. And so I started putting myself first. And like I said, it's not a selfish thing, it's a self-love. And at the same time, I'm teaching my kids that it's okay to love themselves, that it's okay to put themselves first, right? And so that then they can feel good about themselves. And then whatever runneth over, whatever runs out of that cup is for, whoever they want to be with in their life. So that would be my long advice, my long piece of advice.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, beautiful Julie. You're really a jade to us here. And I know you're beautiful before, but I think your beauty now, Rajay's sparkles, dazzling more than ever before. I'm sure of that, because we can feel the energy from you. We can feel your beauty from inside and out. That's really, really beautiful. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's a very good advice. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Well, tell us about your Facebook group, and tell us if somebody wants to connect with you and wants to know more about your services, how can they reach you? How can they contact you?
So, well, thank you for the opportunity for me to share. So the best way to find me really is through private messaging, and you can just type in Julie Cloutier, like you see the name, and you will find my personal page for sure, if not my business page, because they're both under the same name. And you can just, reach out, private message me. I do have a private Facebook group where, women who are, like I was saying at the beginning, women who are wanting to discover themselves more on a deeper level, and they just want to discover how to show up as their best self, as their highest potential, right? So I do have a private Facebook group where you can request to join. And what I offer every 6 weeks is a 5-day live mastermind, and it's for free. So you can participate, and that's where I show up every day. We do lives just like we are doing right now. And I help you. I help you discover your unique brilliance. I help you understand what has been stopping you from showing up as that best version or highest version of yourself that you want so much. And so the first step is to just private message me, or just, search me in Facebook, Julie Cloutier, and you'll see my face. You'll see my face, and then I can give you the link to my Facebook group, and then we can start from there. Yes.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Or you can send me the link also, and I will post later your Facebook group so that other mothers here can join also your Facebook group, because one of the mothers, I think that was yesterday, also answered with a question before joining, that they need on how to manage emotions themselves, anxiety, and all those emotions of being motherhood for themselves. So hopefully that a lot of mothers learn so much in our episode today. Thank you so much, Julie, and thank you to all the mothers who listened. And if you have questions, and if you wanna say something, please let us know. And we will see you also next week. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much, Julie. That was brilliant. I really liked our conversation today. Bye, everybody. See you next week. God bless everybody.